ready?
This is Nicole. Welcome to Beyond the Grind.
Let's talk about it.
All right, you want to go first, or you want me to go first?
I'll go first.
Yeah, see, leave
No,
an
let me
example.
let you go first,
No.
because then I can go off of what you say. I'm
Okay.
catching my bearings. You like me? You got 800 things in your mind,
I told you.
and you just like.
I've been having traffic's been crazy up here. Some of the cars have to get towed.
Oh Lord.
Leave those thoughts alone. All right, here we go.
So leave those thoughts alone.
I'm
supposed to be asking you, right?
Oh yeah. Well, let me ask you this one. Go ahead. You can.
Okay.
It's my pregunta.
All right. So again, thank the fans for all the questions.
Yes, thank y'all for asking questions. Keep them coming.
So this person wants to know, what inspired you to start your own business? It's a deep question.
It is a deep question, and I'm trying to give not a bratty or surface reason.
Yes.
But it's more so, not that I have a problem with authority. I didn't want my Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to have to be the answer to somebody. And I just knew that outside of having a job, I wanted something I was passionate about.
Right.
That I can, insert ministry and do things that just come natural for me. So I feel like working at a job, it would make it where I have to answer to you on the reason why I did this and the reason why I did that. I just didn't want to do that.
You didn't want to ask permission to go to the bathroom.
No, I don't. I feel like I've never operated in that kind of way, and I didn't want to start now.
Because some jobs, they like, you gotta put your phone on hold before you can get up.
Yes, or try to save your bladder for when you get your 15-minute break.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to. Like, why do I have to do that? So that didn't resonate with me. Not saying I didn't hold jobs. Of course, that I had to answer to somebody, but that just solidified the fact of like, this ain't this can't be for the rest of my life. And I really wanted to make a difference, and I wanted to make a difference by my narrative, not by somebody else's narrative. But I get that everyone can't be entrepreneurs because you need chiefs and Indians. Can we say that? Are you allowed to say that now?
Well, I mean, you can say whatever you want to say.
Oh, I don't know.
I
don't know if that's politically correct.
Who's going to stop you?
Right, that's true. But yeah, everyone can't be like, you need some people to be the workers and some people to be the leaders.
Right.
So yeah.
Which I feel that too. I mean, what you feel about bereavement? Like, someone dies.
Oh, crunching into this 5-day period, depending on who they are.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, even if they were my auntie or however everyone says it, what if they raised me like a parent?
Right.
But because of their relationship to me, I get 1 day for the day of the funeral.
Right.
Like, what if I want to save my tears until after 3 months that they're gone? You can't dictate to me like how my time constraint on like how to mourn someone.
Right.
And I get jobs, they're about, money. They're about the numbers.
Yeah, money, yeah.
Yeah, so essentially it's like, okay, keep towing this line because we got to get productivity out.
And maternity leave.
Oh, that's a whole nother thing.
Like,
that is a whole nother thing.
Let's talk about it.
It's different from America than what it is for other places. But when you think of even women who don't get maternity leave if they had like a stillborn. Yeah. And you think about it, their body still went through like birth, like their body, their hormones, everything's different on top of grieving. But because they don't have that child, you're saying I'm not entitled to an maternity leave.
Right.
That's crazy to me. But when you work at a job, they are dictating the rules, and you have to kind of, it's almost like you sign up to play a game and you have to adhere to whatever their game is. I don't want to play your board game.
You don't want to play?
No, I'm playing my own game.
You want to play dominoes?
I'm playing my own game. It's a
game
that's not invented. It's mine. It's mine.
Understood.
And there's nothing wrong for people who want to. The question was, what made me?
Right.
What made me?
Yeah.
Was that I wanted to be the captain of my ship. Is it? Yeah, captain of my ship. Yeah.
Is it? Yep.
Yeah. I wanted to dictate it, and I wanted to make a difference based off of what God is putting in me and how He's given it to me, not based off of your blueprint.
That makes sense.
Thank you.
What do they got for me? I don't
Bum,
know.
bum,
Oh
bum.
Lord.
So this one doesn't have your name on it, but it is a question.
Okay.
What is a passion, which we just talked about, or
Mhm.
hobby of yours that brings you a sense of joy or fulfillment? And how did you discover it?
Oh, okay. So my biggest passion in the whole world is fishing.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
And I think I would say I discovered it from my dad. I will fish anywhere.
Really? So you're the type, like, if you go out of state, it's like, I'm gonna grab my fishing rods.
I'm taking my rods.
Really?
I'm taking my lures.
Mm-hmm.
I know many species of fish. The same way how we could talk about a real estate contract.
Really?
I really love that. That's like my biggest passion in the world. It's like,
so do you fish for sport, or like do you like all the fish that you catch or whatever? Do you eat it?
Well, no, not all the time. Don't eat all of them. Just the see, fishing is important. Like it's an important, in my opinion, it's an important business skill too. Because, and this might be a little deep, but it'll help answer your question for me at least. You have to essentially evaluate the water that you're going to be fishing in to determine what type of fishing line that you should be using on your rod, and also what type of bait that you should be using, be it real bait or artificial bait. And then you have to determine if they're not biting the bait that you're using, you have to make adjustments using a different bait until you get the result that you want. And then once you get the result that you want or that you anticipate, it might not be the type of fish that you were looking to catch. So then you make more adjustments until ultimately you catch whatever
fish that you want.
Yeah, that you want. But for me, I just like the act of essentially doing that whole strategy, taking my bait, throwing it out. It's relaxing. You get to think. Look at the water. You get to look at the boats go by. You get to hear the water.
So it's serene and tranquil for you. Like,
yes,
it's the whole feel.
Yes.
Okay.
And then the greatest part about it is when you finally get a bite. So all the effort you put into baiting it, getting down the water, and you throw it out, and then you get a bite. And then you're reeling it in, and you're excited. And sometimes the fish gets away. And you get mad.
Oh my God. Isn't there a saying like the one that got away?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But then there's sometimes that you could be reeling in a fish, and it would be a smaller one, and a bigger fish will eat it on the way in. And then other times you go fishing and you catch nothing, but you got everything off your mind while you were sitting there.
Okay. Doesn't sound like a bad hobby. I would love to go fishing one day without touching the bait. I have anxiety with worms. Like, I don't like if it's a rainy day, like my children, like, just if I talk about it too much, I'll start like gagging or vomit. Like, I just don't like.
So you'll have to use artificial bait.
Yeah, because
like lures.
Or if someone else can do it for me, and then I just throw it in there, I'm good. But I don't want to touch it.
See, that's taken away from the fun part. Because see, you can fish with.
Well, if it's fun, then the person who enjoys it can put it on my rod and I just bring it in. But like, fishing is hard. Like, I've watched the sport, and you're a fisherman, so like, you think it's simple, like when you're just bringing it in, but sometimes you're watching, like, they're like really wrestling with like what is on there, and then you got to let it go a little, and then it's like oh dang.
Think of all those principles that you just said. That's what I really like about it. It's like you giving and taking. Like, the fish is fighting for his life.
Yeah.
And you're trying to essentially get it in to take its life, but the fish isn't giving up. So sometimes, even after you reel it so far in, they call it the bell, which is the middle part, which allows the line to go back out. You might have to flip the bell over and say, all right, fish, you're not giving up. I don't want you to break my line yet. Let me give you a little bit more time to get your stuff in order, and then I'll reel you back in.
Oh, have your final goodbyes.
Yeah, it's a like tug of war.
Nemo.
It's a tug of war.
Oh, wow. But no, like, actually, that's a deep concept with some of the things that we want in life. And it's like, we really desire it. And it's like, but it's right there.
Yep.
And it's like, well, sometimes you got to let it do its thing and then bring it back. But you don't want it to be such a fight that you just sever every. That's wow. That's deep.
I was reading a quote last night, and it
Mhm.
said, sometimes you can be so close to something that you just physically don't even see it.
Mm.
And I said,
That's a good one.
drop the mic.
Yeah, there's nothing to add to that.
Nothing to add.
Nothing.
Next question.
Next.
Do you respect the person who forgave you for doing wrong?
Oh God, why is that my question? Do I respect the person
Who forgave you
who
for doing
forgave
wrong?
me? Personally, for me, I would respect the person who forgave me. If I did something wrong to them, that's me. But right, what I will say is I don't know if that is a typical thing. The only example I can think of is outside of business, right?
Mm-hmm.
For a man who may cheat, right? And it is a habitual cheater. I don't know if he respects his partner if they continue to forgive them, because they're going to feel like she going to always let me get away with it. So let's say by the time their relationship finally ends and they go with someone else, they may feel as though like, I'm not even going to play that with them because I like if I do it once, they're walking away.
Right.
So it's a certain type of accountability. They'll know that next person, they won't tolerate that type of behavior.
Yeah.
Whereas because I kept forgiving you, you're not going to possibly respect me in the same way. But for me, I would. But I try my best not
That's
to.
why this is your question.
I try my best not to be on the end of offense, or at least not get caught. So I'm joking, but I was kidding. But I really do try to be mindful of my actions because I don't want to offend someone, and I don't want to lose the respect of my loved ones.
Right.
Purposely.
That's respect.
Yeah, that's a purposefully thing.
Yes.
All right. You should have had that question.
No.
What is your opinion? I just want to, even though it's my question, what is your opinion?
I would too.
Mm-hmm.
I would forgive someone.
But?
There is no but to it.
Oh, okay.
God said forgive.
Amen.
And we're consistently forgiven.
We are.
So how can we hold a grudge when we're forgiven by the Most High?
You know what? You hear a lot of time in church, like that example. But living enough life, you realize that even if it's not I'm not doing it on purpose and I'm not overthinking it.
Right.
I sometimes realize how easy it is for me to forget to give grace the same way it's given to me.
I was reading something,
mm-hmm.
and I don't know if we talked about this before, but I'll say it, just even if we did or not, I still want to say it. I was reading something, and in the literature it said, one of the greatest gifts that God gave man is the ability to forget.
That is true.
Because everything that we have, we was given by the Creator. And that is one of the gifts that he gave us, the ability to forget. And if we don't have the ability to forget, then we can't move forward.
That is true. I think God is working on my ability to forget. Because I feel like I remember a lot. Like, literally, like, my mind... I literally was giving this example to someone. I went into my Sunday school teacher bag. Like, if I was a Sunday school teacher, how would I teach this lesson? So, you know how they say when you are to, like, when you go to God and ask for forgiveness, he throws it in a sea of forgetfulness, right?
Yes.
So, for a child's mind, they're not understanding, like, the concept. So I had rice near me, and I was like, okay, let's go out in the yard. And imagine the yard is the sea of forgetfulness. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, like, it's a sea, you know, it's grass.
Right.
I was like, close your eyes and throw the piece of rice in there. Mm-hmm. And the lesson was, I told them to go try to find it. And they're like, we can't find it. I was like, but you know, it's out there, right?
Yeah, that's dope.
And I was like, so the sea of forgetfulness isn't the fact of you not remembering that you threw something out there.
Right.
But the sea of forgetfulness is like, I'm not going out there to find that one thing that you did wrong because it's forgotten.
Right.
And I was saying, like, to my children, like, that's how God's forgiveness is. Like, but then I explained to them, but sorry means you're not going to do it again. And like, the whole thing of asking for forgiveness and all of that is so you're not going to repeat that same behavior. Yeah. So,
because then that there is when it becomes.
Yeah. Then it's like you're not sorry.
Yeah.
You're more apologizing. You're more inconvenienced that the fact that you got caught.
Right.
But so for me, like, yeah, I have a memory, and I try to. I'm not at the point of I want to be Christ-like, but I'm not.
Well,
so I don't forget.
I understand that. But remember, it's a gift.
It is a gift. But I have a question for you. Do you think there's a difference between not forgetting and because everyone always thinks when you forgive someone, it's redemption, and just because or restoration, and it's like just because I forgive you doesn't mean you're restored to the same place in my life or that you have to be in it going forward. It just means that the forgiveness is for me. Like I'm not harboring like ill will towards you. But do I want you in my life? No. Do I want you in the same capacity? No.
Right.
So what's the difference between someone saying, well, you're holding a grudge and not, forgetting and you're supposed to, throw in the sea of forgetfulness, be Christ-like?
Well, yeah, I mean, the last part of what you said, be Christ-like and all that, that's fine and dandy. But
yeah,
I guess for me, having the sense of self complete control means that I have to forget, I have to forgive, and I have to move forward. Because if I don't, then the action that caused me to have all of those things is still controlling me. Because it's similar to like a relationship. If you was with somebody and you moved on past them and you got somebody else, what's the point of thinking about the person that you just left? It's like, nah, everything that happened that just made us not be together, I'm done with that. This is what I got now. This is where I'm at. So in order for me to be here, I have to forget about all that.
That was a decent way to put it. Let's see. All right. That was a good perception.
When you right.
Balancing life. So this one is not a question. It looks like more a what is your perspective on balancing life as a man?
As a man?
Like what is your so they want the
Let me hear the
male
question.
It just says balancing life, man or woman's perspective. What is your perspective of balancing life?
Well, I mean, I guess it would depend on the person. You got some people that say, for example, if you didn't have kids, it's such a rhetorical question and a wide open question because if I were super rich, balancing life to me is being able to do whatever I wanted to do whenever I wanted to do it. So it wouldn't be any balance other than hiring somebody to pay my bills so I can continue to do that. But if I can put it in a perspective of like somebody that has kids, balancing life is challenging.
It is.
Just by the segmentation of how you use your hours. And I try to, for me personally, I try to break that down. And I know the word try for me is a hard word to use because it's a way that you're not taking an action step.
You say that all the time, yeah?
Yeah. But I have to say it in this case because I try to have a complete balance by structuring, okay, in the morning, no matter what, as soon as I get up, I'm praying. And then, getting the baby to the daycare, to school. And then I need to, read something so that I can learn something for the day. Then I need to read something again. Then I need to study my Spanish. Then I get into work. So it's like, for me, balancing all those things, it's easy to say, but then life could happen. You get sick. You might get a cold.
Yeah.
You get a call or a problem or something you got to deal with. So I think the most effective way to kind of answer this, to the best of my ability, I think the most effective way to balance life is to create a structure for all those things. But know that all of it won't get done at once. So you need to have a checklist so that whatever doesn't get done, you can get back to it at a later date.
I have a question for you. So I was listening to, oh my gosh, it was something that came online and it was a gentleman speaking on how he feels as though he was saying men oftentimes feel as though the woman doesn't balance, like when you're talking about factoring having children,
Mm-hmm.
and that they're like kind of forgotten. And he was saying it wasn't a justification, but it was a reason why a man may step away, because you're feeling like your woman is not factoring you, they're factoring the kids more than you. So I guess my question for you is, like, when you're balancing life,
mm-hmm.
and let's say I'm coming from the woman's perspective, right? And it's like I'm trying to figure out this balance of, okay, I'm a spouse, I'm a mom, I'm an entrepreneur, and all these things. Do you feel as though to come up with the perfect balance of life, you need to bring in the person that you're lifing with, or is it like a personal journey of balancing?
No, I think it's got to be collectively both people.
Okay.
I mean, obviously with the unison, it makes things easier.
Mm-hmm.
Because essentially you're in a business together.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know, it's just kind of like, if I got sick and I got work to do,
Mm-hmm.
you could go out and do it.
Exactly.
So I think it's when it's in a unison together,
Mm-hmm.
you get shared responsibility. I think the way things used to be before, where like the wife just cooked and cleaned and all that.
Gone
like
are those days.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And the husband just went to work and all that. No, it's women that's making more than men right now. It's women that's working more than men. It's men that like to cook.
Mm-hmm.
And they would prefer to cook the food for the kids and vacuum the floors, but still do they work too.
Would you ever be a stay-at-home dad? Like, are you like, you know, with the new way, like they'll say, like, we can flip it. So would you ever be a stay-at-home dad?
You laugh about it.
Because I know
no. I mean, I got a lot of respect for the women that do that. That there is harder than actual physical job.
Mm-hmm.
Dealing with the personalities of the kids and cleaning up and cooking and all that. I mean, much respect for them. It's not something that I would rather go to work 80 hours a week than to be a stay-at-home dad, because it would be hard for me. Plus, in my mind,
mm-hmm.
I have things that I want to give the world, but not just to my own kids.
Got it. Okay.
And I can't. Well, I guess "can't" is an excuse word, because you got the internet now. Mm-hmm. You can touch somebody in Saudi Arabia.
No, but I get what you're saying.
You know what I mean? But like, I want to physically be able to impact other people.
Yeah.
Outside the walls of my four corners.
Got you. Okay. Yes. I don't think I could be married to a stay-at-home dad either. Nothing's wrong with the ones who do. Listen, some of these, like, these are solely our opinions, so it's not like the gospel.
Yeah, right.
And it's not the rule of thumb.
Right.
I can't do that. I can't imagine me being out there, like, as hard as I work, right?
Right.
No, that doesn't work for me. I don't know. I can't imagine my man, my leader.
Right.
Just, you know, like, oh, baby, let me whip you some eggs and I'll be home with the kids.
While you work.
Like they're holding on a hip. I'll see you when you get home.
Now, here's my question.
No.
So, say, for example, you get the greatest opportunity in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And just say your podcast blew up the way it is.
Our podcast.
Well, I'm not.
I get what you're saying.
I use the word example.
Oh, example. All right, proceed.
And I use podcast for example.
Okay.
And say people say, you know what, we need you in Los Angeles 4 days a week, and we'll give you $10 million. And your mom or somebody else that currently helps out says, you know what, I got some plans to travel the world. I'm going. And then now you need a stay-at-home dad to take over so that you can go pursue this. And this opportunity would generate more revenue than that's currently there.
Mm-hmm.
Would then that be fine? Oh, you took a deep breath.
Because, okay, so I'm learning to, before, like, when you think of you're tasting something, right?
Yes.
You should get all the flavors first.
Like they do with that wine.
Yeah, like
they
swirl it around.
Then they be sniffing.
So, because as you're talking, in my head, I already have my answer. But then I really want to make sure, like, okay, did I really listen to what he's saying, or did I listen to what I thought he was about to say? So that's why I took my deep breath to be like, okay, Nicole, marinate on it, now
Look
respond.
at you.
Okay, so for me here, just me,
Mm.
I can't fathom having a career that takes me away from my babies that amount of days, like across the world. Like whatever job I have, that's why my children are homeschooled. We can travel together. For the if it's something like that, like I wouldn't care. Like keep my address here in Delaware, and we can travel together. But for me, right, I would want to make sure that I have a village set up enough
Mm-hmm.
that he's working hard, just as hard, if not harder, than I am. I just all my whole life I always worked for what I have. So I just don't feel like anything's handed to me, right? I work
Mm-hmm.
hard for it all. I would want to know the person who I'm with is going to work harder or just as hard because, and you can support my dreams still and support
Mm-hmm.
whatever opportunities,
Right.
but it can't be with you staying at home.
Can I
Without
answer?
now, if you're staying at home and you're like an entrepreneur yourself and you're able to do that,
Right.
but not, I'm not holding the bag. I'm not carrying the bag. Like, don't think that. No. Mm-mm.
Can I interject?
Yes, you can. Thanks for asking.
Now, this podcast, and again, this is just for example's sake,
Yeah.
that you created,
Mm-hmm.
it came from a gift that God and the Most High gave you.
Amen.
And it says your gift will bring you in front of kings.
Okay.
And it also says that in order to follow me, you must leave your nearest and your dearest.
That's in the Bible?
It's in there.
All right. What part?
Go read.
Okay.
It's in there.
All right. I'm not refuting it. I haven't read the whole Bible yet.
Let's look it up so I can give you the verse.
Yeah. I know the leave and cleave. That was for the man. But
well, it says your gifts is gonna bring you.
Yeah. Was that in Psalms or something? Because we read that. So yeah.
All right. Luke 14:25.
All right, read that.
Many people were traveling with Jesus, and he said to them, if you come to me, let me give it to you to read.
Okay, where are you at? Many people were traveling with Jesus. He said to them, if you come to me, but will not leave your family, you cannot be my follower. What version is this?
King
you
James
must
version.
Love me more than your father, mother, wife, children, brothers, and sisters, even more than your own life. Whoever will not carry the cross that is given to them when they follow me cannot be my follower.
Whew. Now again,
I get that. No. I get that. We got to choose Christ overall.
Now again,
it's to follow Christ, though, right?
Again, your gift. If you, we're just gonna say your gift is the cross for this example's sake.
Okay.
It's bringing you beyond to many kings,
mm-hmm.
where you're going to share this gift that was instilled in you.
Mm-hmm.
In order to do that, the word is saying you must leave your nearest and your dearest in order to follow me.
Mm-hmm.
But you're saying you won't.
Okay, so when you're talking, listen. Okay, so when you're talking about scripture, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're talking about follow Christ. So that means whatever I'm doing, am I edifying him? Is it bringing it back to him being
it's your
the
gift.
center? Yes, I'm using my gift, right?
Mm-hmm.
But is my gift to build the kingdom? That's being a follower of Christ, right? I'm going just off that scripture.
Okay.
So when it comes to let's say it's not a podcast.
We're gonna have a church session here. You know what? The next one, that's our next one.
It should be what goes on in the pews. Because it ain't always holy.
Goes on in the pews.
Get a couple church kids up here. Let's really tell them how it is.
We're gonna dissect some of these verses into what we believe. Like
I would love that. Yeah. But rightly dividing the word of truth. But so let's say it's not a podcast. Let's say I am a
just say you're LeBron James. You're a star basketball player.
Yes, but that gift has nothing to do with being a follower of Christ, right? That's just me. Let's be honest. Like when he's dribbling the ball, he's not like DEVI.
No. So
Gotcha.
that gift allows him to be able to glorify God in front of many people.
Mm-hmm.
So without that gift, like for example, one of the greatest things that I like about sports, specifically even you heard it a lot in the Olympics, which I was proud to hear. Once these people won gold or whatever, they said, "Oh, your coach is here, your family's here, and all that."
Mm-hmm.
Many of the athletes was like, "Well, yeah, I'm happy they're here, but I want to thank God for putting me in this position." So they gave God the glory first.
Amen.
And by doing that, their gift brought them to the whole world.
Yeah.
So yes, by you, because there's many people that are greater than the people you saw on those events, but they're not using the gift that God gave them.
And that's why I said, like, to follow Christ to me means at all costs.
Yes.
Right. So
you're willing to leave the nearest and dearest if all costs matter.
At all costs, I choose Christ. Like I choose God at the end of it. But
we got there.
No. But when God is like, if I have to go to LA, with me following Christ, was it as for me and my house?
We will serve the Lord.
We will serve the Lord.
Right.
So we're gonna be doing it all together.
So you saying you taking them with you?
Yeah, we're home. My children are homeschooled. They can get their education anywhere. Like
now.
But I can't.
For example,
he still can't be like the hubs can't be like.
You don't want him to be a stay at home.
I would need him to work hard, and I'm not saying work hard where you have to have a job. Okay.
Like what if his job was something? What if he was your treasurer?
Okay, he's working hard. I don't care if it's a family business. I'm just saying you can't be. Give me the kiss and.
That's unfair though.
I know.
How is it that the woman can be a stay-at-home?
It's completely one-sided. I'm not refuting that. I agree with you.
That's
for the longest time, I was just a stay-at-home wife. Yeah, 100%. I'm not refuting.
That's not fair.
Well, for me, I look at the man to be a leader. I look at him to see. I'm not even. Some women will go as far as saying he needs to make more money than me. I'm not even saying that. But what I am saying is, for me to look at you to be my leader,
right?
You lead by what? Example.
Yeah, he's going to be an example to the kids, to the household. He's teaching the kids, this is the way you're supposed to treat the woman. He's leading by example. The only thing that you're extracting from it is that he's not physically running an organization or physically working for somebody else's dream. Other than the fact that he's building the most important asset that you two have together.
All right, so I'm at what did the new kids say? Call like Cap, because when I first asked you, would you be a stay home? And this is your face. Even if your voice was even, you kept it even.
Yes,
but your face said no.
But I gave my honest.
Yes,
that was for me though.
Yeah, that was for you. So for me, so I'm saying for me, right? Like I said, I'm not saying it's fair because I think a woman can be a stay at home, but when I think of the leader in my household and like I need you to be a provider. Like I look at, I think
I
of the
know
man.
What the people think about this.
I think
we need to put the question out there.
We do, and we'll put a poll on there just to get some feedback. But I look at the man to be the provider. I need you to provide, and I'm not saying.
What define provide?
Define what I think a provider. Okay, so I need you to be a financial provider. Provide means to for me means to pull and find the resources. Like to bring me the resources. You're providing me with the financial resources to have my life.
So what about the live off the grid people that you see? Because you see all these people now that the man is the stay at home and they live off the grid and they provide, but not with financial resources, but they go out and hunt during the day.
That's providing still. That's providing for a necessity, right?
Yeah.
But more than a lot of those people who have to live off the grid, they always say if you study them, they had to save up their resources to be able to now do this because it takes money.
Unless they go to Alaska. You can go to Alaska for free And well, you got to get there, but
Yeah.
once you get there, you
But
know,
it still takes resources to get there, to even obtain the land that you have to provide. Like, so
this is
it's
unfair for the man right here.
well, listen,
I'm defending the men that would be stay-at-home dads because
and I'm defending
some of
the
them are,
women who are like, that doesn't work
because
for
you
me.
can, the man could still be able to provide, you know, being a stay-at-home dad without just putting up money. Like,
Okay, so give me examples of what he can provide. I'm not saying they can't. I just want to know. Can you give me some examples? Like, get my
say there was a woman
mm-hmm.
that was traumatized
Mm-hmm.
with love
Mm-hmm.
before they met this man.
Okay.
And this man gave all the love that this woman needed.
Mm-hmm.
And she said to him, I don't even need your money. I don't even want you to work. I just want your undying love.
Okay.
And he does that. She
Mm-hmm.
comes home, massages her feet. Do you need anything? Yep. I got your favorite meal. Giving you the things you wanted before you even had to ask.
Mm-hmm.
And you become accustomed to that.
Okay.
And then one day he says, you know what? I got a job offer. I'm going to work.
Mm-hmm.
Now all that you was given before this happened
Mm-hmm.
is going to be taken away. How would you feel? You taking a deep breath again.
Because for me,
now that's a
because
complaint.
you asked a specific question of how I would feel. What I find to be attractive in a man is his ability to provide and offer stability.
So was love, because he was offering stability by giving you everything you wanted, treating you like the queen,
Mm-hmm.
And providing everything you needed. But now that's going to change because he's going to have a job. And then somewhere down the line, it's going to be, you used to do this, now you don't do that because you're just working and you focus on.
I wouldn't feel that way because for me, a man like that, I would feel like I can take advantage of. And that would do nothing for me. I personally would not, that wouldn't get my fancy going. So what I will say is this. I can give an example for my situation, right? So coming into my relationship, like I had my own job. I was staying in a place with my mom and sister. I had my own items. Like I had acquired my own stuff.
Right.
It maybe wasn't a lot, but I was taking care of myself. So by the time I became a stay-at-home wife, it was when I had my first child.
Mm-hmm.
And it was still like I had brought value into the home previously that we were able to be like, okay, you're good. I was a stay-at-home wife, like all the years of me being married, almost 12 years, I was a stay-at-home wife, and I'm talking about not bringing in money for like a good maybe 4 years at the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just because that I can do that, but I like bringing in money. I love the fact that he never made me feel like what I'm bringing is not valuable, because what I was bringing was needed. Because when you start bringing in children, you think of the money that you're saving,
right?
For
daycare and all those other things. Yeah.
So I know you're gonna try to flip it and be like, well, why can't the man do the same thing? But for me,
nope, you made an assumption.
Okay, remember, you're right. I'm so
because
sorry.
I'm already down. I want to hear what you're saying, but I just have one last part of this question, because this question like opened up so much.
It did.
But I have one last.
Like, we can pause the rest of this and we can sit on this one, because
I just got one more thing to it.
Go ahead.
I want to hear yours.
No, I want to hear.
No, your because was important because it was deep.
It's just more so I need to know. I don't want anyone hanging on my, like, we have to bring value, right? We both have to be valuable within a relationship, because let's be honest, you can't be in a relationship just for love. Like, we have to be building something. We have whatever the life that we're building, right?
Right.
So I would need to know that you are bringing some type of value, and rubbing my feet and stuff like that. I can get like an electrical foot massager for that. Like,
but it's different than the person that you love.
They're putting their fingers between the toes. Ooh, but I need you.
So just like your mom, if your mom said, "Come rub my shoulders, my back's hurting, I had a
Yeah.
long day,"
Yeah.
it's a difference
Okay.
versus you saying, "You know what, Mom, I'm tired. I worked all day, but I bought you a machine that can do it." It's a difference.
It is, and it does go back to the part of you saying balance, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because with work, like I'm still a great mom. I think I'm still a good wife, and I know I'm a great agent. You know, I'm out here like
Yes, yes.
I'm
Balancing.
balancing,
Yeah.
right? So for me, I would need to know like my man can exhibit the traits of you're able to still be a provider in addition to we this is both of our household, like let's both do this together. I also don't think it should be the job of one person.
I agree with that.
I don't think the woman should be known to be the cook and the clean and does all the cute little tasks while all you do is work. Like we both should be doing this. Yes. And I don't think it should be all on the man to just be the only one to cut the grass. And I mean, granted, I don't like cutting the grass and emptying the trash, but I'll do it. Like right. I'll pull the weeds. Like I feel like it should be partnership and teamwork. So for again, me, I'm sorry, my man. Like I just don't want to stay at home.
Well, here's the other part to this. Your significant other and you both meet each other.
Okay.
And you both work. And you get a job opportunity that pays 10 times the amount that he does. And you just verbatimly said there's value in having one person stay at home because the kids themselves cost money with daycare and all these other things. So at that point, you will make the decision with your significant other and says, hey, I should probably take this job and you should stay with the kids. Does then at that point the man's value go down to you?
No, it doesn't.
So you are fine with the person being the man being a stay-at-home dad based on your response to this question.
Okay, so he would have he can stay at home to be with the kids. That's in addition to having some type of something.
Well, he did. He gave up what he had that was something.
Okay.
Because it was more beneficial for the entire household in totality.
Yeah, so in a situation like that, right?
So you would be fine with the person being a stay-at-home dad?
For like a month or two, because let's be honest, I'm going to tell you
why.
You're
not going to quit the job in a month or two.
No, but I'm going to tell you why. Okay, because most times, if you're talking about jobs, let's not even talk about being an entrepreneur. Because this happens frequently. A certain freedom. So let's talk about jobs. Yes. There's going to be a point in time that job is going to stress me, right? And I'm going to be like maybe feeling overwhelmed. I'm going to feel triggered when I come into the house. And it's like, I'm talking about the day that I had. And because let's flip it. Let's be honest. I'm talking about the day that I had, the stress that I had. And he's laying on the couch. And it's just like, I'm tired. And it's like, no, I need to get some stress off. You need to be my physical release. And it's like, but I'm tired. I had a long day with the kids. Then I'm going to be bitter. Like, but I just had this type of day. And I've been doing this. And the first thing a toxic woman may do is like, well, you ain't really a man. I wouldn't do that. But what I'm saying is, if you flip it, that's literally how men be acting, right? Like, we can say how tired we are or whatever. And the first thing is like, well, she physically ain't really like, she's staying at home with the kids and she don't do her hair like she used to. She doesn't do this like she used to. And it's like, it's almost disregarded when the woman talks about how tired she is from doing all these tasks and all these things. And it's like, almost what are you doing at home? It's really not that valuable. But the moment a man wants to just sacrifice his job because his woman's getting paid more, and it's like, but you should find value in what I'm doing. It's like, okay, well, let's flip the roles then, because then I need you to always be at halt on your southern regions for me, and always be there, always cook, always clean, always do that. It's not going to happen. And the moment that doesn't happen, I'm going to feel upset by you, because I'm going to be like, I'm out here in the world having to show up as this, and I'm tired.
So it means that
there's a point in time it would get tiresome.
Yeah, and what I heard is that what you would do is you would come in and find the problem. Because what if that man did all the things that needed to be done? The kids were fed.
Okay.
Did the homework with them and all that. Spent time. watch Coco Melon, clean the kitchen, wash the clothes,
Mm-hmm.
vacuum the floors, paid the bills, had your food ready, you would come home and find the problem. Because you said the moment that one thing isn't done, I'm going to snap and say, I'm out here and I'm doing all this.
No, not the one thing. Not the moment that one thing's not done. The moment I feel as though you're not showing up for me the way I need it because I feel like I'm out here. Like for instance, when I was staying at home, like I value having to go out in the world and having to show up and push beyond how you feel. I get that it's a whole job, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it was important that I set an atmosphere of when you come home, it's your haven. I understand that. But I'm also the type of person where I don't think it should be like, let's say I'm out there making millions.
Right.
I want to hear about how hard you were working. And I don't care if I'm making millions and you're a janitor. I want it like that. For me, it's attractive to hear how much of a hard worker you are on providing, even if it's not to provide for me, but just to be a provider, even for yourself alone. Like, even if your money is the play money, like I like a hard worker and we could do it shoulder to shoulder.
Right.
I also, when I was a stay-at-home mom, and that's solely all I did, because I still balance out my life now, and I'm still for my kids. But I just don't think it's on the job of one person to do all of that either. I don't think that's fair. Life should be a partnership.
I just want you to admit that
what are you trying to do to me?
Don't got the respect for the stay-at-home dad.
I didn't say I don't have the respect. I said, okay, I wouldn't want a stay-at-home spouse or dad. Me, Nicole.
We got to get a poll going.
But some women might like that. Some women may need that. You know my personality. I'm
right.
So for me, I got to know that my man, like, put me in my place. You can't put me in my place if you just sweeping. Like, for me, like that, I'm saying I need to know, like, all right, pull that card and it's like, maybe it's toxic. Like, all right.
So you think work defines a certain level of control from the man, like providing? Because people talk about, like you said you have to be a provider, like financially. Just because the person works, that doesn't mean they're a provider, because there could be other things missing just from them working.
I agree.
So that's kind of.
So I don't think that your value is determined on. You're right.
Because sometimes you see a lot of these guys.
You're talking about providing and leading. Those are two different things. Providing is like you're bringing in the resource. Now, how you spend those resources, that also is a whole nother. That's where my respect is going to come in.
Right.
What do you do with the things that you did provide? But I need to know, like, so let's take money out of it. Let's say we're living in a time where it's like we are in a homestead and you are a hunter.
Right.
And you're providing what we need, what the family needs.
Right.
That, to me, like, you don't have to go make a penny or a coin, but it's hard work out there.
Yeah.
It takes time, and you're out there, because to me, in a sense, providing is a little bit of sacrifice. And that's what I tie it to, because it's effort. The providing means you're putting some effort in there to bring to the family. So even if it's not money, I need to know that who I'm with is out there doing that effort, and not just. And I'm not saying it doesn't take effort to be a stay-at-home parent. I'm not saying that.
Yes.
But you can do that in addition to, like, you can have, like, your job. I don't care if you work at home.
Right.
And you never leave. You're working still. You're providing some type of financial relief, because let's be honest, in today's time, you need more than one stream of income. Yes. So if I'm the one holding us up to the table, a table is stronger. Like, this table has 4 legs, right? If we broke one, it may wobble, but it's not going to fall. But if I'm that one leg and we lose that one leg, the whole table is collapsing. I need to know that, no, we both got a leg in this. We both providing. And yes, and like I said, it's completely one-sided, because I was fine being a stay-at-home wife. So you can't argue the fact that I'm contradicting, because I'm owning the facts that I'm okay with
No,
a woman
you
staying
are.
home.
Well, in the words of Tupac, for all the stay-at-home dads, I got nothing but love for you.
I have nothing but
Do your
love for you
thing.
too. What works for y'all, rock out. Rock out. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Beyond the Grind.
Let's talk about it.